Hey, welcome back. Hope everybody is having a great Wednesday. And thank you so much for joining me talking all things Masters of the Universe. Today on the channel, guys, we're going to be reviewing and this time fully unboxing the new Eternia version of Beastman from Wave 16. But first, we'll take a look at the figure and the packaging, the artwork he comes with. We'll do a full unboxing this time, and we'll compare this version of Beastman to the other variants of Beastman we've gotten in MasterVerse, including his first version from the new Eternia line, right here, which is right here, the Target exclusive, and have some fun. Now, of course, if you are new to my channel or first time watching, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button. I hope you'll hit that like button. And thank you so much for doing that. Hit that notification bell when I upload new videos. And please share this video. Who has a passion and a love for collecting all things Masters of the Universe. Without further ado, let's take a look at Beastman. All right. Like I said, Beastman is, of course, no stranger to the MasterVerse line, and of course, no stranger to the new Eternia line, because one of the very first figures from the new Eternia line, along with He-Man and Skeletor, was of course Beastman, right there. There he is, and you know, one of my favorite versions of Beastman in MasterVerse, right here. All right, so here we go. All right, let's take a look here, of course. You got the Mattel logo here. You got the 30 points of articulation. MasterVerse, beautiful. With the rock splashing around MasterVerse right there. And there's old Beastman in package right there. It looks really good. A beautiful shot right there. Beautiful artwork of Beastman. All right. Some of his people, some of his members of his clan right there. There you got the Master Universe logo, new Eternia, Beastman. Alright. There's a female version right there. Beautiful. There's Mossman. I love that. I love Mossman right there. And of course, at some point, we're going to be getting that oversized, that mega Mossman, I believe, from MasterVerse. Possibly from the new Eternia line. I remember they talked about that in the Mattel Creations reveal online special. All right there, nice shot right there, beautiful shot of Beastman. Right there, gorgeous. All right, of course the back, where they blend in live action or real figure, and blended in some beautiful artwork right there. Got the moon. All right, beautiful. Alright, Beastman. Alright. Of course, the cross-out, and we'll be unboxing these figures throughout the week. Alright. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll get them all out and be right back, right? Hang on. Alright, guys, here he is, out of package. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, the first thing I will say, okay, you can make the argument, for this version of Beastman, which looks incredible, right? For two things. One thing is that you can almost make the argument somewhat that this version of Beastman here, okay, could possibly, just possibly be a part of the vintage collection from MasterVerse, right? Also, and I'm going to compare this version of Beastman to, besides, for the MasterVerse, because I'm getting the Lords of Power vibe. All right, with this version of Beastman here, with this look here, all right, especially with the Origins version, all right, from that 5-pack, and I'm going to compare that with this version of Beastman as well, okay? Now, on to the articulation of the figure itself. It looks incredible, all right? First off, let's look at the face sculpt here, right there. And the mouth is articulated, okay? You can move the jaw up and down, okay? There is articulation in the mouth, which is gorgeous right there. The face sculpt looks great. Now, the head does move. Not, completely from side to side, because the beard right here, the beard kind of hits the armor right there, as you can see. So, but there is movement, okay, but very little, okay. Wow, look at this. This looks good, really, really good. Like I said, I'm getting that Lords of Power vibe and somewhat of that vintage collection vibe here with Beastman here, but. But of course, at some point, we probably will get a vintage collection version of Beastman and MasterVerse. All right. He's got the beautiful Mace right here, a club that we've seen before, like with figures since like Too Bad as well. It's got that beautiful blue, emerald. I'm sorry, sapphire look to it. All right, including the jewel right here. You can see the symbol which we've seen before in the Lords of Power version. Right there, this star inside the belt here. The face sculpt looks great. The spikes are not sharp, they got a point to them. I wouldn't want to step on it. I don't want to walk on this with my bare feet, of course. Got the gorgeous spikes right here. All right, looks good. Looks really, really good. Now, the one thing I will say too, with this version of Beastman, of course, he's no stranger to his whip as well. And this version of this whip is a very different take on the whip here. It's a very flexible, very soft, whip here. And it took me just a second to get the handle in his hand because it's so soft that when you try to fit it in his hand, since it's so soft that it kind of crumbles, it kind of like crushes it, and you can't fit, you can, I guess, just take your time. All right, it will eventually fit in his hand, but it's so soft and so flexible and so flimsy that it does take a second to get it in his hand, basically. All right. We'll go ahead and turn on the turntable here really fast, guys. All right. I can try it here. Sorry, guys. So let me know, everybody. Let me know, what your thoughts and feelings about this Beastman here. Getting a second version in the new Eternia line. And at some point, I have no doubt we're going to probably get a vintage collection version of him as well. But is he my favorite, though? He's, out of the two versions we've gotten so far, or the three versions here from Beastman, is he my favorite now? And of course, what I love the fact that each version of Beastman is different from the next. From the first version we got, the more older, variant of him, to, I would say more like this version right here. Like, I would say, from time-wise, if you're looking at it like a time frame here with Beastman, I would say this is like his first younger self, just starting off, not the king yet, or the ruler of his people, all right, people right here, trying to prove himself, first becoming a loyal, servant, all right, or henchman to Skeletor, doing this one here, becoming the leader, because of the beautiful headdress and the look of him. And this one is more of the older variant, of course, of Beastman. Alright. But I love the style. I love the gauntlets here. Got the gold and blue right there. And like I said, I love the spikes. I love the articulation in the mouth. The eyes look beautiful. That gorgeous gem right there. And on his belt, from that beautiful sapphire mace as well. Alright. Now, let me show you. And I have to, unfortunately, I can't bring down my, my Lords of Power Origins version 5-pack here. But I can bring it to you guys. Alright, so hang on. Hang on. Alright, everybody. So this is my Lords of Power 5-pack right here. On my shelf right here. And as you can see, this is the version of Beastman that they was part of that 5-pack from the Lords of Power Origins pack right here. And as you can see, right next to the from this MasterVerse, I'm getting a lot of the same vibe here with the orange and with the armor as well, from the gold gauntlets here on his hand, even the blue from the belt here, and the star. You see? So this might well be, for the, the Lords of Power version, if you want to, make the argument of Beastman. And so maybe just maybe we'll get the other versions, from the Lords of Power in MasterVerse from the new Eternia line. Because as you know, these are, the first concept figures that came out for Origins. When they first, from the MasterVerse started, when they started out, So I want to point that out from the face sculpt there, from the orange and the blue right there. So I do hope, I really do hope that this is, the first, Beastman of the Lords of Power versions of the MasterVerse line, from this new Eternia line as well. I'd love to get a Man-at-Arms. I guess we kind of got that version of Man-at-Arms in a way. But Birdman and maybe He-Man and Skeletor as well. Or maybe they were, well, I would say maybe not the vintage collection, I don't think. But let me know. Let me know your thoughts about this. You think this is, in a way, their version of the Lords of Power, version of Beastman right here? Sorry for the shaky camera, guys. All right. Okay. Once again, I do apologize for the camera shake right there. All right, but let's take a look at his first version here. And look at the size difference here between the two figures here. Between his first new Eternia variant here to his latest version here. All right. Get this other variant right there as well. Right there. All right. So yeah, I gotta say, I mean, both of them look incredible. But which one is my favorite version out of the both new Eternia variants here? I would go for now, just now, because I love the headdress. I love the soft good fur here. I think that's, beautiful. I love the his helmet here, I guess you would call it. Look to it over. I would say for right now, because I could change my mind, by tomorrow. I would go number 1 here, number 2 here, and of course number 3 here. But the beauty about this is that I believe you could, if you wish, if you prefer this head sculpt, because I love the head sculpt on this version here, because I love the articulation. I get that old school vibe with this version of Beastman here, and look from the 80s line from the Lords of Power to Origins. I love this version of Beastman here. I love this look to him. Okay, it looks very serious. It looks more aggressive in my eyes right here than this version here. You could probably pop this head off if you wish and place it on this body here if you want to go like that. Go that route, all right? And then, of course, have the headdress and the beautiful, warthog. I always consider this to be like a warthog type of helmet here. I don't know. Some, creature. Try to put it so that works like that. It's good for what it is. All right, not too bad. But let me know, guys. Maybe, this version here is not bad. It's okay. The more older version of Beastman here, with the scars on his chest. But out of these two versions of Beastman right here, which version do you prefer? Do you prefer his first variant right here? Or do you prefer his more latest version right here from MasterVerse? I'm going to try. I hope his head can pop off. All right, it does. Oops. I was going to try really fast. Oh, his hand fell off. That's okay. See, the one thing about, I love this fur here, but I think, okay. There, and go like this. So there you go, guys. What do you think? Do you think, I know it's not perfect, guys, but I'm just trying to show you, the newer head sculpt on this massive Beastman body. Do you prefer this look to him? Or do you prefer the the look that he already had on there. And for fun too, let's just try it. See what happens when we so there you go. All right. But that's, of course, that's the beauty of this amazing brand here, and from Origins, is the plug and play, the customization. You know, thing about so you can mix and match, you can customize, and if you don't like it or you want to put it back to normal, you can do that. But both versions are good. I don't but I do love this face sculpt over this version here. Also, I noticed the orange, too, from all variants, all the versions of Beastman, is a different shade of orange. This one has a more red tone to it, look to it. This one's a little bit more dull, in a way. You can see right there in the camera right there, the different orange they use from each version of Beastman, including this version, too. And what also is funny too, when I'm looking at these, Beastman now with this first variant of New Eternia look to him, I'm definitely, for the most part, getting that Lords of Power vibe what we saw with the Origins 5-pack here, with this look here, This version of Beastman, I'm getting more of the 80s original variant here from Origins and from the 80s line here with this version of Beastman here. All right, but still a beautiful, figure. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put him back to normal here. I hope. All right. That's on perfectly. Like that. All right. But like that, we're back to normal. Beautiful. All right, one more shot of Beastman before we end the video here. Once again, guys, let me know your thoughts and feelings about this version and variant of Beastman. Is this the best one, you think? All right. All right, guys, I'd like to take the time now, of course, to thank my subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. It's been a lot of fun going back and doing another Beastman from the new Eternia line. All right, he's, an incredible character, amazing character. I'm looking forward to the future for Beastman, for MasterVerse. I can't wait. I'm sure at some point we'll get the Vintage Collection version of Beastman from MasterVerse. All right, so this was a lot of fun. So thank you for joining me. All right, of course, don't forget to hit the notification bell when I upload new videos. And tomorrow we're going to be fully unboxing the Wave 16 New Eternia variant of Roboto on the channel here. And of course, we'll compare that version of Roboto to his Revelation figure. All right, and have some fun. Okay, so I hope you guys have a great Wednesday, and I'll see everybody on Thursday. Take care and have a good one, everybody.